You are watching the 2014 SCAC Football Media Days, and joining us today from San Antonio, Texas, is head coach Jerheme Urban, senior quarterback Mason Blaschke, and sophomore linebacker Julian Turner of the Trinity Tigers. And first of all, gentlemen, we want to thank all three of you so much for taking the time out to join us this afternoon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach, we'll start with you. You're going into your first season, and you're taking over from an SCAC legend, Steve Moore, someone you played under. Just tell me, what does it mean to you to be the successor of him?
Well, I think that it's a great honor. You know, I like you mentioned, I had a chance to play for him. I followed Trinity football ever since I got out of here in 2003 because my brother played, and once you come into the football program, it's part of the family. So I was always watching webcasts and coming back in the springs to help out the off-season lifting and just trying to mentor some of the young guys. So coming back on staff the last 2 years and now being able to take over, it's really exciting for me.
Tell me, as you go into your first year, what are your expectations as head coach at Trinity going into your first year and then maybe going into the future as well?
Well, obviously we have some catching up to do. Texas Lutheran had a great season last year. You know, they came away with the conference championship, and we're a 5-5 football team. So we've got a lot to build on. I'm excited. We've got a good group of guys who had a great offseason, and they're putting in great work right now. But our number one goal is to win and to kind of get this program going back in the direction that we've used to been going.
Mason, you had an earned injury early in the year last year. Obviously, tough to sit back and have to watch the entire year. Just tell me about your motivation to return to the field, be 100%, and get back with your teammates.
Well, it was first of all, it was very tough to watch and not be able to help much besides, talk with the Qs and teammates during the games and practice. But just to see my teammates and be part of the team and going 5-5, like that's just motivation in itself. I'm not used to that coming from high school. I came from Enquero, a very winning tradition there, and Trinity's the same. We went 10-0 my freshman year, and that was something I was used to. Like I wasn't surprised at all coming out of Enquero from that. So I'm trying to get the offense going, do our part of the job, and I know our defense will take care of their part, and we'll change things from what they were last year for sure.
Julian, just share with me just the excitement level among the team. Just camp started a couple weeks ago. Just to get back in camp and get ready to start a new season here shortly.
Well, a lot of the guys we're all excited and we're ready for the season. We're all working hard, flying around during practice. We're all supporting each other on and off the field, and when we're on the field, we're flying around. We're playing physical and practicing hard.
Coach, come.
Now, can we do these interviews? Can we do these interviews every day? Because that's the most I've heard in 2 years. If we got him on here, I wanted to make sure he could talk. So.
Absolutely. Coach, I'll come back to you. Just tell me what you've seen so far from this team throughout preseason. What you like so far that you've seen from the group?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of urgency, and I think that's number one. Moving from drill to drill, tempo within the drill, coming out to practice in the weight room. The guys are operating very fast, and they're operating efficiently, and I think that's because they're excited about what we're doing. I think that they realize that you have to play football with a certain amount of urgency on the field, and that's going to translate for us. So right now we've got a great group of leaders. Everybody's competing and pushing one another, and they're operating at the tempo that we want. So that's been exciting to see.
Coach, tell me about your senior group. How important are they going to be to this team? How vital are they to this team's success?
They're huge, but they're just a certain part of the puzzle, so to speak. We told everybody when we came in, I had my first team meeting last December, and I said, hey, if you come back in January, you're part of this thing. And we laid out the expectations. It was going to be different. Everybody knew what was going to be expected, and everybody who came back in January, they stepped up to that challenge. So the seniors have done a great job leading the young guys, but we've had a lot of young guys step up as well. And, that's the reason why I have a sophomore next to me, because this is a true team. Yeah, the seniors will be huge, just like on any team.
Julian, as you go into your sophomore season, your second year on the field, what are some differences you've seen in yourself from a freshman or going from a freshman into your sophomore year?
Just experience. I got to play special teams a lot last year, and this year I feel like we practiced enough, and I'm able to get my reads quicker and be able to react with and communicate with the rest of the defense. So I think I'm a lot better
Mason,
at that.
tell me, as a senior on this team, how important is it to you to be a leader on this team, to be one of the leaders among this group?
Well, I've been obviously my fourth year here, and so I've had great quarterbacks in front of me that showed me how I should be vocal as a quarterback. And I've never been kind of the rah-rah kind of guy. I like to just do my playing, do the talking, and so having the young guys look up for me and look for me for answers, that's a kind of role I haven't been used to. And so Coach Urban, urges me to take the young guys under my wing, and that's what I've been trying to do. Because I have a good understanding of the offense. I have a good quarterback in Bob Royals who he's been with me for all 4 years, and we help each other out a lot. And so it's a lot easier for me to take the young guys and be in their shoes once upon a time and help them out with understanding.
Mason, I'll stay with you as we kind of go into the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Tell me a little bit about the quarterbacks. Working with Robert every day, and tell me also a little bit about your running backs. What you just seen from that group throughout preseason, and what you've liked from that group throughout the preseason.
Well, as I said with Bob, this is our fourth year together. I mean, you don't see that often. Quarterbacks from the same grade staying all 4 years together. I mean, we only have Matt Kinnemer, the only receiver left in our senior class. So you think about that, that's kind of crazy. And then the running backs, Travis, Jeremy, Dez, and a couple of the young guys. They're all fighting for their own reps, and it's awesome to see all the talent we have at run back. They're every rep in practice. They're going hard, and so whoever is back there with me or Bob, you're gonna get the best out of each of those guys. So it's
Coach Urban, I'll come back to you. We'll move through the offense. Tell me a little bit about the receivers as well as the tight ends. Who has stood out to you? What have you seen so far from that group?
Well, obviously, Matt Kinnemer, he'll be a 4-year player for us here, 3-year starter. He's having a great camp. Sam Harford's coming on strong. He played a lot of snaps for us last year. And after that, we have a lot of guys competing. That's an exciting thing for me. We've got some shoes to fill on the outside. We've got some shoes to fill, behind Sam. And just like the running back position and everywhere, we've got 3 trips this year where we're going to have to travel with a limited roster, and guys understand that if they're going to make those trips, and they're going to be some fun trips, I'll tell you that, they have to show up and they have to play, and that's added to the competitiveness of camp. I think it's put a little more of a focus on special teams. Some guys who aren't used to playing it, stepping up and jumping in, trying to get reps because they want to be on that travel squad. So I think we've got a lot of guys doing a lot of good things right now, and I'll be excited to see how it shakes out for September.
Stay there,
6th.
Coach. Let's move over to the offensive line. What have you seen from that group?
I think Coach Matt Uzel, our offensive coordinator, who's come in, taking hold of that O-line group, he's done a phenomenal job. We have a 4-year starter in Connor Cox, who's preseason All-American at our left guard spot. He's obviously rock solid. Frankie Arntz played a lot of snaps for us last year at left tackle. So those 2 guys, we expect a lot from them. We demand a lot from them. But again, we have a lot of guys competing there. It's going to be a group that I'm really excited to see. And, we've told them, hey, we're going to go as far as you take us. Everybody who goes deep in the playoffs can run the football, and we're going to stick and run the football. So I think that they're excited about that. And like I said, they've really gravitated towards Coach Uzel, and he's doing a great job getting that group.
You're watching the 2014 SCAC Football Media Days with head coach Jerheme Urban, senior quarterback Mason Blaschke, and sophomore linebacker Julian Turner of the Trinity Tigers. And Coach will top on to the other side of the ball and look at the defensive side. And let's start with the defensive line. The other group in the trenches, what are you seeing from them throughout the preseason? Who's standing out to you?
Well, we have a new defensive coordinator in Brant McAdams, and he's brought some different techniques and ideology and some things. So there's been a lot of growth there across the whole side on defense. And in D-line, we've got great competition. We've got a 5th-year senior in Bradley Drennan. He missed a year early on due to injury, and he decided to come back this fall to finish out his eligibility, and he's done a great job of leading that group. And we've got some young guys who hopefully come in and surprise some people. But again, the competition across the board has been great in this camp, and I think that both sides of the trenches are coming together at the right time. And
Julian,
right
I'll turn to you for your position at linebackers. Tell me the competition you've seen at that position and what you're seeing from that group in the preseason.
Well, we have a lot of young guys that are stepping up. I get to play with Connor Earloff, who has a lot of experience, got around 100 tackles last season. I could turn to him for advice and guidance and stuff like that. And then the young guys, they could turn to both of us. And they're all fighting and learning new positions and picking up the new defense
Finally,
fast.
Coach, we'll go into the secondary. Tell me a little bit about that group.
Well, again, we have Camden Joe Bear coming back to kind of head up that group. He'll be a junior, finished the season strong last year. I think he had 18 tackles at Austin College in Week 10 as he continued to develop into that kind of big time strong safety for us. And he's back taking charge of another young group back there. I think you've heard over and over we keep talking about youth, and we've got a lot of young explosive guys, which I think we're all excited about. And again, we've got the old guys who made the commitment this spring to start turning this program around and getting back to where we want to go. And I think it's a good mix of old guys bringing all the youth, whether it's in the secondary or the receiver position or wherever, and getting this thing
Coach,
going.
we talked about offense, we talked about defense, and of course you got to bring it all together with special teams. Tell me about that unit.
Well, it's fun. It's exciting. You're going to think that I'm a broken record here, but we've got a lot of young guys competing, and that's exciting. We did a great job. We knew we had to target some certain areas in recruiting. The great thing about Trinity is we have a plan when we go out and recruit. We know what kind of institution we are academically. We know how we're going to be able to fund students on the financial aid side and how they fit into our academic matrix. So we were able to really kind of go out and look out for some kickers to come in here and compete and try to shore up a spot that was pretty shaky for us last year after losing a 4-year starter, All-American in Garrett Beal. So we're excited about that competition, and whoever comes out on top is going to be able to kick the ball.
Gentlemen, we'll get you out on this final question. We're all going to ask you kind of the same question, but in a different variation. And Mason, let's start with you. For the Trinity offense to reach its goals, expectations, to be successful in 2014, what are going to be the keys to success for that offensive unit?
So definitely discipline. Coaches emphasize unexcusables, and he's very much so right on that. We have, bad snaps sometimes, bad exchanges. I mean, that's on us. Like, it's the little things. That's kind of cliche, but the bigger things will fall into place. We have a great offense. That's something new that we're very excited about, and we just got to do the little things right to execute and do the job. Is just put points on the board and let the defense take care of their spot.
All right, Julian, I'll come to you now for the Trinity defense to reach its goals, expectations, and be successful in 2014. What will be some of the keys to success for that unit?
I think we all need to be as coachable. We have a new defensive coordinator in Coach McAdams. We all need to fulfill our responsibilities, our 1/11th of the defense, and just make sure that we play hard and fly.
Don't you get the big question finally for the Trinity Tigers as a team to meet its goals and expectations in 2014? What will be the key to success?
We talk about at Trinity having two loves, and that's your first thing is you have to love your teammates and you have to love football. And I think that's been a pretty clear expectation of the guys who decided to come out for football this fall. So I think if we keep those in focus, we're going to stick through the tough times together. We're going to have each other's back. If we love football, we're going to pay attention to the little details. We're going to do all the little things right because we love the game and we want to be as good as we can. So if we have each other's back and we're paying attention to the details and doing all the little things and having fun, I think
you have been watching the 2014 SCAC Football Media Days with head coach Jerheme Urban, senior quarterback Mason Blaschke, and sophomore linebacker Julian Turner of the Trinity Tigers. And again, gentlemen, we want to thank you so much for taking the time out to join us this afternoon, and we want to wish you good luck in 2014.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.